What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to FAMcast. This is episode 32. I'm Trevor, and I've got Tim and Trey with me again.
What's up?
And we are only 3 days away from the first big AAA launch of the year. We've got a weekend filled with Monster Hunter World and Dragon Ball Fighters. Fighters Z.
Doubleheader.
It is a doubleheader.
Good titles.
Right. We are going to be packed for the next couple weeks here, just nonstop playing. I know Tim's going to be streaming a lot of Monster Hunter. Trey's going to be playing a lot of Monster Hunter and DBZ. Well, Tim's going to be playing DBZ as well. Basically, we're picking up both games, and we're not going to put them down for quite some time.
Yeah. It's probably going to be the games I play for a little while just because
Yeah.
money, new car, new house. It's going to be a lot.
Right.
Those are just games that, like, especially like Monster Hunter, it's great because, like, you could just play Monster Hunter forever if you really wanted to.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot to do, and I need that right now because there's not really any big RPGs I care about, and I need this game.
I'm craving it, man. Like we just got done playing the third part of the open beta, which it had the three main bosses that we've already taken down. I think we put those up on our YouTube, but they had a fourth one this time, the Ner Gigante, which was this Elder Dragon boss that we attempted for how many hours was it?
4?
Probably 4
Yeah,
hours.
it's like 4 hours.
It was us three and then Zach went as well. We went in, we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna crush this thing, no big deal. Man, we got stomped.
Yeah, we got by.
And I thought we did so well so many times.
Yeah, there were a lot of times it seems like the fights go in phases. He spawns in the same place every time, so eventually we kind of got our run down, like our speed run path down. So we'd go eat real quick, slide down the hill, jump into these lavender fields, and boom, we're in it. Trey's setting bombs. It was perfect, but just not enough damage. Like we were slacking.
And people made it seem so easy, and it just throws me off. I'm just like, how? What do we do? No.
Right, because
It's not fair.
it's tough because everyone has the same preloaded armor, so it was a little discouraging. But then I found out that there was a whole crafting system that we completely neglected to notice.
Like, how deep was the crafting system? Because I didn't even look into that.
I didn't look into it a whole lot, just from what I saw from videos. There were some flowers in the fields, sleep herbs, so we could have crafted some like sleep coating to like blast him, put him to sleep, put bombs by his head, blow him up. And then you could also make some blast coating with some of the red herbs that they had as well.
Clever girl.
Yeah, so we definitely missed out on a few things there, and that would have helped because I
Yeah.
think the big thing from all the videos I saw, they were using the bombs to their advantage, putting them to sleep, and which I don't know, I felt was a little cheap.
Yeah,
but-
I wouldn't want to cheese it, but
Yeah, and that's where we were.
got the
Like we
job done.
kept exactly. Yeah, we saw all these videos like people defeating it in like 30 seconds, and it's like that's cool and all, but that's not how I want to beat it. Like I still want to go through the challenge of fighting this monster.
Well, that's the best part. Is I can't wait to play it, and like, so I'm gonna be a dual wielder because that's what I do in all major RPGs when it's
Yeah.
available, and I can't wait to just build up that class.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna have a set for that class. I'm just gonna go in, get some neat weapons and just armor sets, and it's like
Yep.
it's gonna be built off of that. Oh, I just can't wait.
Right. I think I'm gonna go the. I really like the switch axe. It's a lot of fun. But I think if they have, I think they had like the jawbone sword in the beta. I think I might just go with like a regular, just like giant broadsword. I just really like those heavy hitting weapons.
yeah, man. Well, if you want heavy hitting, you gotta go with the hammer or the hunting
I don't-
horn.
I don't know. I like blades more than like dual weapons like that.
Like swords versus.
Yeah. I like to
versus,
slash instead of bash.
Yeah, there you go.
I feel it. I
What
feel
about
it.
what
Yeah, what
doing,
about you,
Trey?
Trey?
What are you gonna do in that?
I've always been a fan of like ranged weapons. I know in past Monster Hunters, I always did dual swords like you did. Or I would do sword and board because it's easy. Like I have a shield and a sword. I have my own protection, whatever. But I think this time around I'm gonna go with bow. It's gonna be a little tougher, but it'll be worth it.
You seem to
nice.
have a lot of fun.
Yeah,
like, when you
yeah,
were
bow's
going
really
out
fun.
there.
It's a
I
lot.
like
of
that
fun.
we're kind of mirroring our Warcraft classes. There.
Oh, dude, that's how it is. Everything now.
Right.
I only play Hunter in Hearthstone. I only play like.
But you don't get the
ranged
cards for
classes.
Hunter and Hearthstone.
Yeah, I know, Tim. Okay, I know. Thanks,
Tim gets any
Blizzard.
card he wants. All he has to do is ask for it and
Right.
buy another pack, and he gets it.
Anyways,
Yeah, the beta was challenging. We never did beat it, and unfortunately, the beta's over now. So we missed out on that, but we're ready to take on the real thing this weekend.
Yep.
We've got a busy
I
weekend too.
We do.
So at least the time of recording this, it's Tuesday going into Wednesday right before
It's my
Monster
sister's
Hunter.
birthday. I actually got a text her
Oh.
for this.
Oh, nice. Very cool. Yeah, Tim's coming up on Thursday. He's going to be playing Doki Doki on stream for the first time. So it'll be a very interesting stream, so definitely catch that. We've also got Monster Hunter and DBZ streams coming this weekend as well.
Yep.
It'll be a little bit later than usual just because we've got OhioCon this weekend where all three of us are checking that out. But
I have no idea what to expect from that.
Oh, yeah,
Which
this
I'm
will be
excited
your
for.
first anime convention, right?
Well, so I've done Gen Con once. I was kind of telling Trevor about that. I did
Nah,
Gen
it's-
Con once, and it was not a pleasant experience for myself. That partially because of the people I went with, and partially because I can only do the same thing for 5 hours without blowing my mind out. But that's neither here nor there. I think going with you guys to begin with is going to make it a way better experience. Plus, Trevor has me all pumped for some hopefully FMA loot. Like, I really want some FMA loot, so we'll see.
Yeah,
what
we
happens.
gotta either buy a pass to get into the deals room or figure out a way to sneak in.
Yeah,
Wait.
Tim-
Okay, hang on. Wait. You have to buy a pass to go buy stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page. Okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So if you want to like do anything at the convention, you need a pass, but you can just like walk around and have fun and do whatever for free.
Okay. Cool.
So pretty exciting. So Tim's first convention and lots of new games this weekend, but we also had I thought it was some pretty exciting news today from Microsoft about the Xbox Game Pass. So for those aren't aware, they've been doing this for maybe like a year or so. It's still fairly new, but it's kind of like Xbox version of like Netflix. So they put a lot of their older titles. There's majority of 360 games, but they also have some older Xbox One games on there as well. So you can pay $10 a month, and you basically play all these games for free, as long as you pay the $10 per month. And if you ever end your subscription, you just lose access to it, which for us, I think the majority of us, we play our games right when they come out. So it's not really a huge feature for us, nothing that I think is worth spending $10 on, but I can definitely see the appeal for maybe like younger members or people that might not want to invest a lot of money in like AAA titles. They'd rather just wait to play them.
Yeah.
Game Pass is perfect. But they announced today something that I think will make us all pick it up. That all Microsoft games, so examples like Crackdown 3 and Sea of Thieves, are going to be playable day one with Game Pass, which is pretty big because I mean those are $60 games that you'll be able to play right at launch, and all you have to do is sign up for Game Pass and say you want to play it for a month, and then you're done with it. You spent $10.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see the appeal of it now that you say it like that. I mean, I was skeptical of Game Pass from the get-go. I guess I never really understood it, but I guess PlayStation kind of has the same thing, right?
Yeah, there's
Well, there's just like old, like classic games though, right?
Right. Yeah, because
They
I think
have
they started that
PlayStation
first.
Now.
Mm-hmm.
They do, yeah. They do a thing called PlayStation Now, and PlayStation Now is actually kind of neat because you don't need a PlayStation. There's a lot of there's actually even some Sony smart TVs that you can do PlayStation Now directly from.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's like the stupid little PlayStation TV device. Like PlayStation Now is neat, but the biggest issue they've had, I'm not sure how far along they've come, is you're not actually downloading the game. You're streaming the game, which means depending on your bandwidth and your internet connection, your game may not even work. The quality might be terrible. They've worked on it and they got a lot of the kinks out of it, but it's the same concept. It's just instead of downloading the game, you're streaming the game. As to where Game Pass, you technically rent, whatever you want to call it, the title, and you fully download it. But there are some issues with that too.
So with the changes, is that something that you think you're going to pick up now?
So because of FanFest, me and Mr. Moonpickle got a year of it for free, so I have
nice.
it. I actually
Excuse me.
I did have it for a little bit when it first came out, and I wound up canceling it for just the simple reason that, like, kind of like what you were saying. I mean, when there's a game I want, I buy it. So their back catalog of games that they had from the 360 and stuff just didn't appeal to me. For $10, it's definitely a good price. Like, working in an industry that we did and was seeing the kind of, people who there's definitely a market for people who, for $10 a month, that's a great thing for, right? Because like they had like Resident Evil 4, 5, 6 on there. They had a lot of games on there.
Yeah.
And there are people who, just can't afford to buy a game all the time. And $10 a month, and they have a 100 catalog games, just like PlayStation Now service. It's great for both people, both PlayStation and Xbox, to have that kind of service.
Yeah.
But for Game Pass to do what they're doing now with the new game, I think I'm more applicable to, is that a word? Applicable? To keep it rolling after my full year, unless we get to go to FanFest again and get another free year.
Yeah, I hope me and Trevor get to go next time. Maybe.
Right. Because if anything, the best way I can figure is so Forza. I'll use Forza as a great example. I like Forza, but not necessarily enough to buy, especially not by day one, right?
Right.
So this is a way I can, and most of the time when I play Forza, I play it for like 2 weeks, and then I'm done. So this is a way I can spend, even if I don't have the subscription now, I can, hey, there's a game coming out this month that I want to buy and partake with, right? So I'll spend $10, get that Microsoft game, play it. If I like it, okay, maybe I'll buy it, or maybe I'll keep my Game Pass rolling. But it's like you can demo the game, like the full game for $10.
Right.
Yeah,
and
that's
see
a
if
good
it's
point.
worth anything.
That's definitely a good way to put it.
Yeah, I like that idea of like demoing the game before you buy it, especially something that has an extended lifespan, like Forza or maybe Sea of Thieves. If they add on to that later on. But because if you think about a single player game, if you play it and beat it, there's probably not going to be a whole lot to really draw you back to it. If it's just like a story based game and you're done. So it's great to be able to pay $10 and play it. I think Microsoft's going to potentially take a big hit. I mean, instead of selling full copies. But then again, you might get someone that likes it so much that, maybe they get other people to buy it. So
Yeah.
I think it's a good move. But yeah, to your point, if it's something that has an extended life and you're going to pay more than the $10 per month, like say you have Forza for a year, and that's all you're playing it for. I mean, you're spending $120 just to play Forza. You might as well just buy the full game at that point.
Yeah. I think the Game Pass is going to be something that I may like just because I don't really play my Xbox a whole lot.
Sure.
And that I can just kind of drop the $10 and be like, okay, well, my friends are playing this game, and this game. I won't play with them for like, X amount of time because I know another game's coming out anyways that they're going to end up jumping to. And I'll just like stop it and then pick up another game to do the same thing with,
Yeah.
So I think
And we can play Resident Evil 6 now.
We could.
Because,
Nice.
for $10.
Very true.
That is pretty awesome.
The only thing that does bother me about Game Pass, and I don't think PlayStation Now does this. I think PlayStation Now, and I could be wrong, I haven't looked a ton into it recently, like I was saying, but I know, much like Netflix, to your point, they are subject to take any game out of there that they want. And I've gotten plenty of email notices saying, hey, this game's going away from Game Pass, so play it now before it's over, blah, blah,
Right.
blah, blah, blah,
That's
blah, blah.
Yeah.
So the question then I would have is, okay, so if I get to play this game day one, is it only going to be in there for the first month? Like, is it literally going to be there? Like, because it doesn't state that it won't be.
Right.
Right? And
That's a good
I'm
point.
just playing devil advocate there because, like, they could be using this as a great selling point to be like, hey, this is available day one for the first 7 days.
Sure.
I mean, it's a good tactic.
Oh, it's a
From
genius
from a
business
business
tactic.
standpoint, for sure.
And even
But,
then, there's so many big games that I'm like, oh, that seems really cool, but I don't know if I want to spend $60 on it. So I think it'd be a good move, even if they just have it on there for 7 days. I can go in there, try it out, and I'm like, hey, this game is actually really cool. I think I will drop the $60.
Right. No matter how you look at it, it's still at least a $10 demo at the
Yeah.
very least that you can try the full game out. And in most games, I mean, honestly, unless it's a giant RPG, most games you can complete in 7 days if you really
Yeah.
want to.
If you dedicate
know,
the time to it, yeah, for sure.
True.
See if Thieves isn't going to be one of those games. It just never has been one of those type of games that I mean, that's supposed to be a game that you're supposed to just play a lot of and have
Right.
fun with. But Forza again is one of those games that I think I would play it for a week and a half, and I'd be fine with it. And then that's $60 I saved, or I guess technically 50 or whatever you'd freaking call it, right? So I'm okay with that. I'm like I said, I'm more applicable to keep it rolling after my subscription ends.
Sure.
Because of this now. Before I wasn't probably going to, But now with this announcement, depending on how it works, and depending if they keep true to that word, and there's not some things where it's like, oh, but it has to be, it's not every Microsoft, fine lines here, But I think it's a good idea. I think it's a great move on Microsoft's part.
For sure. And granted, the only 3 that they showed off were State of Decay 2, Crackdown 3, and Sea of Thieves. So
I'll believe
like
Crackdown 3 when it actually comes out.
Right, exactly. So these aren't huge games. Like I was talking to Will earlier. I mean, they're big games. They're big Microsoft games.
Crackdown's huge if it actually comes out.
Right. 'Cause I was talking to Will about it. I feel like they announced it too early. Because at this point, I feel like the hype has just died down way too much.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think anyone cares, honestly.
Like, everyone's just like, oh, yeah, Crackdown 3, that game that they talked about 4 years ago.
Right.
And
until
I'm excited for it.
For sure.
Until I get my hands on that game and I'm actually playing it, I don't believe that's coming out anytime soon.
But exactly. That's the exact same way I feel. Like, unless I see it in front of me, I'm just assuming it's not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same way how I feel about Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy VII Remake. Like, I don't believe it until it's actually coming out. Not at all.
They just announced these things too soon, man.
Like, when did Final Fantasy 15 come out?
15?
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Just last year.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like January of last year, wasn't it, or something like that?
Or it might have been. It was about a year
or
ago.
December. It was a decent. I swore they said that after that game came out, we'd get a lot more information on Kingdom Hearts, and it did not happen. I mean, how much did we get?
We got 3 trailers, and then kind of an announcement date, but
or an announcement year.
Yeah, an announcement year.
What was the year? Was it 2018?
Yeah, it's this year.
So we'll get it in 2020.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably. And then there's that whole leak with Square Enix, but we'll see if that is even true.
Like,
yeah, they had that whole leak. They were talking about Final Fantasy 16. They were talking about Episode 1 of the Final Fantasy 7 remake.
Can they just focus on one? Can they just do the Final Fantasy 7 remake and stop worrying about 16 right now? But you
got to think it's a multi-project company. Like, Square Enix is so huge. Like, they just had Lost Sphere come out, which I really want to get.
That's true.
They got all these other titles that are also in the works on top of Final Fantasy and on top of
that Marvel
Kingdom
game,
Hearts.
that Avengers game.
Yeah, like the Marvel Avengers game. Like, where's that?
Is that still happening though?
That?
Like, that's the other. I saw like one big thing about that, and it's just poof.
Yep.
And we got that teaser, and they're like, oh, just wait another 5 years.
Yep, it's vaporware right now. It's just it's nothing.
Like, I've never played Final Fantasy 7. I really want to play this remake of it because and I'll be honest, I tried to play Final Fantasy 7 back on Steam when they did the remake of it on Steam, and it's not that it's a bad game. I'm sure it's fantastic, but from someone who has never played it back then, seeing it as it is now, I'm just kind of not appealed to it.
You know what I mean? I feel the same way because I bought the remake on PS4. And I was like, I'll play through as close to the original as I can on PS4. That way I can probably appreciate the remake when it comes out. And I tried, man. And like you said, it's one of those nostalgia things. Like, if I played it back then, it'd be a completely different playthrough.
Right.
It's just, it's not dated. I mean, how do I want to explain this? It's not a bad...
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
It's like why I can't play through Pokemon Red and Blue at this point.
Now, wait a second.
Right,
that's right. We disagree on this. I forgot.
I think I can play Red and Blue again.
You can always play Red and Blue.
I can play a remake of Red and Blue. I cannot play the old ones after I've experienced the quality of life updates in the newer games.
Is it because of graphically? Is that the reason why?
No. I like the graphics. Like, I'm completely okay with the graphics. It's I think it's more about the pacing. The pacing's just slower. As far as you don't have the running shoes. It just
Pokemon, yeah. Okay, I thought you were talking about Final Fantasy for me. I was like, I mean, the pacing in that game is pretty good. But no, I understand that.
Yeah. But I respect that you can go back and play those. I think that's great. Me personally, I'd love to see those remade, like how they did Heart Gold and Soul Silver. That's still my favorite Pokemon game.
Because they did Fire Red, right? Fire Red and Leaf Green, and I played those. Those are super awesome. But like, to me, it'd be like if I was like, hey Trevor, here's my PlayStation 1 copy of Resident Evil 2. Go play it. Like, you're gonna look at it like, oh, okay, and then you put it in and be like, I don't know if I can just do this.
Right.
Just because, like, It's
not?
just it's
Why not?
me. I could do it in a heartbeat and not
Sure.
care. But like for someone who's never played it, and on top of someone who's never played it, for someone who's not even invested in the series, right? Because I'm not really invested in Final Fantasy right now. Like there's not
That's
been a
fine.
Final Fantasy game that like I'm invested in.
Right.
So not only do I have to get over the fact that this game just looks outdated, I have to get over the fact that I'm not invested in said series to begin with. So I need a game to invest me in the series, and then at that point it might be different. I might be able to handle it, but I'm not. I'm just not.
It's fine. It's fine, Tim.
And I
I
can
want to
respect
be.
that.
I want to be. Like, don't get me
Final
wrong. I
Fantasy
really want to be. Like,
fine.
I
It's
tried.
okay.
I tried 15. I just couldn't get into 15. I just couldn't do it. I don't know what it was about 15, but it wasn't turn based, and I knew it wasn't going to be turn based. We discussed this. I think actually on like one of the most recent podcasts I was on. I just wasn't. I don't know. I wasn't invested in 15 at all. But I am very invested in turn-based RPGs, so I really want to enjoy this game.
Yeah, that's like the main reason why I want to get Lost Sphere, just because it looks like one of those old school, not top down, but just like one of those really good turn-based games.
That's like why I like Disgaea so much. Is Disgaea is a tactics turn-based game, and I just freaking love
Sure.
those strategies.
And
Pokemon Conquest. What?
oh my gosh, no. Actually, I think I rented that from GameStop when we worked there to try it out.
I enjoyed it.
Did you ever do the Mystery Dungeon games either?
Yeah, I did enjoy those.
Yeah, you've
weird.
you've
It's
got
all
a great
different
Pokemon formula. I can respect that you're trying to innovate, but just stick with what you know. It's hard to mess up a great formula like that.
But it's
What
a
do you-
good thing that they step out of their bounds to
No,
try something new,
because
think.
I like that. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing that they try other things. Like we've got Detective Pikachu coming out. Like
That's
it's
too far
good
out of
that
bounds
they
for them.
tried new things. They're just, for me, they just didn't work. I'm sure they did. I know that there's a lot of people that love the Mystery Dungeon series.
I thought they were all right.
A
I mean,
lot of people like Conquest. Conquest was a really good, like, aside from Pokemon, it was a good strategy game.
Yeah,
It was a
thought it was
deep
pretty
game.
sure.
Don't argue with me on this, Trevor.
All right, I'll drop it.
Well, I mean, it's like when Final Fantasy, what was it, 12 went from the way that game was to Revenant Wings, which was a RTS style game, which threw me off completely. I still liked it, but it didn't feel like Final Fantasy to me.
Right.
Feel like a
That
good
makes sense.
RTS in a way, but
So-
yeah, it was good.
Just and I don't know what else we're going to talk about, but I'm kind of curious. It just kind of popped into my head since we're on to Pokemon. What do you think the Pokemon for the Switch is actually going to be like? Like, we know it's Game Freak, we know it's an RPG, right? So we're assuming it's going to be like the Game Boy games and whatnot. But like, I mean, what do you think it's going to be like? How do you think that's going to work on the Switch? Because it has to have like the 3D graphics and stuff, like kind of like Pokemon. Was it XD? Was that it?
yeah, Gale of Darkness. Or
Yeah, whatever. That kind of like.
Coliseum and all that.
Who knows?
Right.
Maybe it's not.
And from what I've heard, I thought it was supposed to play like the handheld games. Like I thought that
Right.
that's what they said. So I'm expecting and maybe it won't be top down. Maybe it'll kind of be more like a third person.
Which would be sick, by the way. I would be completely okay with that.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It would be
third
different.
person,
It would definitely,
It would definitely be
a-
different for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I,
I
feel
think
about it.
one of the things that I want from it, and it's very like specific and obscure, but I want to be able to walk through the tall grass and actually see the Pokemon instead of it being just like a like flash transition and random encounter.
That'd be sweet.
So it would be sweet. The issues, because I thought about that same thing, right? Like, oh, that would be great if you could see the Pokemon, but I feel like there's a couple issues with that. Not that I don't want it. Don't get me wrong.
Sure. No, I'm sure you're
But
right.
if you can see the Pokemon, you could just avoid it, right? And half of the freaking game is, do I want to walk through this grass and get caught by a Pokemon or not? Like,
Right.
I could go the long way around it and not take the chance of interacting with a Pokemon,
Sure.
or I could take said chance. And the random encounters in themselves are okay. I'm going to spend, and I know a Scyther is super rare in this area, so I'm going to spend however much time I need to try to find a Scyther, or to try to find a shiny, or to try to find a
Right.
female
Right.
Scyther, so I can breed all my Scythers, because I have 10 boxes filled with Scythers and I need to breed more.
Harem of Scythers.
Dude, I did that. I have so many Scythers bred in my boxes, like it's stupid. All with like the perfect stats and all this stuff. I was able to trade Scythers on the global network for almost anything I wanted, other than certain legendaries because they're not that cool. But you know, it was still nice. But that's the game, I guess. To me, I want to see that, Trevor. I think that would give the game a lot of. It would just make it look pretty, right?
Sure.
It would be really neat to see.
It would give it more life, I guess you could say.
Right.
Because like,
Yeah,
you're in this
that's
tall
the
grass
best
and you
word
see
for
that
it.
Pokemon and you're like, yeah, I want that. Or like, I want to fight that. But at the same time, I would disagree with you. I think I like the random encounters because that's what gives it that mystery of what is this that I'm fighting.
Right.
And it, I don't know, it gives it that. For me, the biggest thing for video games is like a sense of discovery. And once you, if you get rid of that, then it's just like boring. Like you're just running through this tall grass and you're like, oh, look, a Pikachu, or ooh, look, a Charmander. I'm gonna go for the Charmander, you know?
Sure. So I was gonna say if I was designing it, my solution to that would be when you're in like a patch of tall grass, you still have the same spawn rate. So say like 90% of the time it's a Caterpie, 10% of the time you would see a Pikachu or something. So you still have the rarity there. And so it's going to be like constantly changing. Like when you're not looking over there, something else is going to be spawning. And to your point, Tim, to where, you know, part of it is being unavoidable, you know, running into these random encounters. The only thing I can think of is there if the Pokemon will actually chase you down. So you can run, but like,
Get away,
like
Caterpie! Oh, God!
So say like you're in a cave and maybe there's like this Zubat chasing you, right? So its speed, like your speed might be 100%, its might be like 120. So at that point, you know, you can run for a little bit, but eventually it's going to catch up to you. So you still have the unavoidable encounters maybe. I don't know. I'm going to be happy with it either way. I'm just trying to think of some other way to, you know, bring more life to
I
it.
see what you're saying. Because the only thing that I can think of with that is that they'd have to incorporate like a stamina bar and
Oh yeah, that Dark
stuff
Souls.
like that. Yeah, it would literally be Pokemon Dark Souls, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Yep. Ash is going to start dodge rolling away from
Right.
the Gyarados and
Dodge rolling from Zubats in a cave.
right.
I'm gonna have to get a Labo box thing so I can start like punching Zubats that are flying at me. Oh my gosh! Like, and that's the thing. I wonder if there's.
I would totally use Labo for fishing. That would be so
in
fun.
Pokemon, that would be.
Yes.
Oh, dude, that would be legit. That
Done.
would be
Sold. I'm buying Labo right now.
Nintendo, listen.
Or like a
That's a
bicycle,
good idea.
you know?
Let you use it for Animal Crossing fishing too.
Ah,
Yeah.
dude, that
sweet.
would be so smart. And that's the other thing. They could I wonder if they'll implement some kind of amiibo support and start adding Pokemon. Oh my God, Pokemon amiibo.
Pokemon Amiibo.
No.
R.I.P. everyone's wallet.
Right.
I just need Nidoking, and I'm done. Thank you.
So there's just to do a quick estimate here. There's like 676 or
I thought
something around there,
750
right?
now. I
Total
thought they're up to
Pokemon.
750.
750.
I think
it's
they're
pretty
actually
high.
above that.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna look
Maybe
it up now because now I'm curious.
I'm behind because the last one I played was Omega
802.
802. 802
Oh my
Pokemon.
gosh. Okay. So let's just say hypothetically, Nintendo makes an amiibo for every single Pokemon.
Okay,
Oh
let's
my
do this.
God.
Let's
At
do
what?
this math.
$12.99?
So 802 times, we'll say 13 bucks.
$10,000.
Yes.
$10,000. That's before tax, by the way.
Yeah, I'll pass on that.
But you
I'll
would
just
have
spend
them
my,
all.
I love my amiibo, but
I'll
But
spend
guys,
my $13 on my one Nidoking.
I could catch them all, and that's not to include the special rarity shiny ones that you could get on
Right.
the side.
They
So
should
there's
do
a
those in,
shiny
like-
one free.
I remember they did that with Skylanders.
Oh, they
where they had
did.
like
I
some
was-
of them were like
Yes, the
like,
I was
original
part
amiibo?
of that. I was so
Yeah.
part of that. I still have them. I could show you them. I was very much part of that group.
it was bad. Me and Matt Pollock, he worked at the Huber GameStop with me. We'd run over to the Walmart next door and check to see like if they got like the new ones in, if they had any of the different color variants. It was bad.
It was addictingly terrible. But that's the thing. I wonder if there's like a medium ground between the what you were saying about how the random encounters and what we're thinking of. And if anybody's going to think of it, it's going to be Nintendo, right?
Yeah, right.
That's the thing. And I'm sure there's some kind of medium ground that they'll think that they could possibly think of. I'm okay, like Trevor said. I don't care how they do it. I just want it.
Yeah.
I want it. I just want it.
I think one way that I could think of, Trevor, you remember how in Tales of Symphonia, when you're out in like the overworld and like there's like those little blob monster things,
Yeah.
they just like come up and run after you. I think that's how they would do it, if anything.
That'd be interesting.
Like you
I can
don't
see that.
you could see something, but you don't know what that
Yeah,
something
it's just like
is.
a figure
Exactly.
coming at you, and you're like, oh, what is it? And it still does like the cross, like your character goes this way, the monster
Right.
goes this way,
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh, it's a Caterpie, you know?
Because like they kind of have something like that to where if you're in grass, you'll see something moving towards you, like kind of dart towards you. It's just a dark thing in the grass
Yeah.
dart towards you. So they have something similar to that, and they have like where like the grass will rustle.
Right.
And you'll like you'll know there's something over there. I just want it. Like I can't.
It's gonna be good, man. Like
Yeah.
the only thing that I can think of that's gonna make it apart from other Pokemon games is gonna be how they're going to handle the online for Pokemon.
Yes.
Like, is it just gonna be the same old of just like, I'm gonna battle this person, I'm gonna do battle arena, I'm gonna do like the 2v2, 3v3, whatever, or is it gonna be like, I'm out in the world running around and like I pass up Trevor and I'm like, hey dude, like you want to go to
That would be the.
Saffron City and fight some ghosts or something, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Don't do this to me.
and then you team up in a group and then go. Like, that'd be cool.
Have,
Like,
a party
Pokemon
system.
raids or something. Like, that'd be cool. That'd be something like
Pokemon
different.
raids.
That would be awesome. I'm
They can
excited
just
for
have
the
my wallet. I'll
gyms
just-
too.
Like,
Like just
Pokemon
thinking about how
Destiny.
cool the gyms are gonna look, like how huge they're gonna be, and because in the games they always do a good job of being really creative with them and making them
Yeah.
look cool.
It's gonna
So
bring them
in
to
a
scale.
3D environment is gonna be.
I want them to be puzzly like they always are, but I
Yeah.
want them to be bigger puzzles. I want it to be a good puzzle, and it doesn't just have to be, oh, you move this brick, go fight that trainer. It could be like, I don't know. I
I
love
like that,
them.
though.
I've always loved them, but like, and I don't mind that. But I mean, I want there to be more to them. Like one of the puzzles that I will always remember from Pokemon
The ice
was
puzzle?
the original. Well, God, there's that. Yes. Oh God, I tried to forget that one. Was the original Team Rocket base underneath
yeah,
the
yeah.
casino with all the things that you go.
Yep.
And it took some. You had to think
Yeah.
quite a bit about that. And I mean, I know a lot of it has to do with because it's just a simple design, right? It's a simple design in a two-dimensional world. It worked really well. But little things like that, I think, are great because it's fun and it's freaking frustrating, and then it's so relieving when you finally get to that section that you're just like, oh, new
Yep.
area.
Right.
And a lot of it was trial and error too, because you didn't know where
Right.
it was going to send you.
Mm-hmm.
Could send you into a battle, and you could already be like low on health, and
Right.
you just have to risk it.
Yeah, this is before
Right.
the days of YouTube and stuff.
Right.
I
So-
didn't have the Game Informer, or not Game Informers, the game guides, stuff like that. I
Right.
never had any of those.
Would you be okay with a remake of Pokemon Red and Blue for the Switch, but in these updated styles, all this new
Yeah.
fancy stuff? Or would you? Because some people, because me personally, Pokemon Red was always my favorite. I love Pokemon Gold and Silver. Don't get me wrong; those are I will never say anything because they introduced Scizor and all this other great
Yep.
things that made my Scyther better. And then the bug catching contest. There's lots of things I love about those games. But I mean, I can't ever go back on Red and Blue. Like that's just the missing no. Everything just
Mew in a truck.
right. It
Yeah.
just I love like when I will never forget when I caught Mewtwo in that game.
Oh yeah, that was great.
It was just getting in because that guy's always standing in front of that door, and you just can't get away from him. And then all of a sudden you beat the game, you don't know what to do, and you go up there like, oh my God, the guy's not on that door anymore. What's in there?
Yep.
And you go in there and you do everything, and there he is, and you just freak out. You forgot to save, so this is it. This is your one shot. Don't mess it up. Like, oh my God, that whole thing was just.
Yeah, I remember those times that, living at home as a kid and like just sitting on the couch and it's right before a legendary fight. You're saving right before. You're like, all right, I've got 30 Ultra Balls. I've got all these revives set. I'm good to go. I've got my Pokemon that can put him to sleep.
How would you feel, and I've thought about this for a long time, how would you feel about a Pokemon game that made it to where if you got into a fight with a legendary Pokemon, it saved during said fight. So if you don't, let's say you fail, you catch it, you missed out on it, which to me makes the Pokemon trading market way more valuable, makes it to where if you did catch that one Pokemon that a lot of people didn't miss, way more unique, way more legendary-esque. Like, I think it would give that way more value. Personal opinion, of course, but
Yeah.
I could see that. Or I could see it something whereas, because I think a lot of people, especially the younger players, that maybe they're maybe not as skilled at the game, they would.
then
be
they
a
don't need to
little
play Pokemon. Okay.
Sure. Understandable, Tim.
Minecraft.
So maybe they do something where that is the case. Maybe you try and catch it, it runs away, or you faint it, or whatever it is, you're out. But maybe they have a system to where after the game's been out, maybe a couple months, there's like a new legendary that
You can try
reappears.
again.
Right, but it's random, so it might not be the one that you missed, but it's kind of like the world bosses in WoW right now, to where they cycle
that.
every week. So it still gives
That's-
people a chance to try and catch them again, but they're still more valuable.
And that would give you reasons to play it.
Yeah,
Like even when you get done with it, that would give you reasons to keep checking out, keep going back. Oh, maybe that legendary that I missed is going to be here again.
Sure,
You know,
absolutely.
like that's a good move. Now, I don't ever expect this to happen. It's
Oh, for
not
sure.
going to happen.
like every
But
time we talk about Pokemon or anything else we want, it's always like we think it's the best idea, and we're like, oh, it's never gonna happen though.
But like,
It's like my
I
Dark
just,
Souls.
oh
Sorry.
my god, yeah. No, go
My,
ahead.
my Diablo Dark Souls, man.
Yes.
That's not gonna happen.
Yep.
It
It's
should.
so good.
So real quick, because I know we're already at about the 35-minute mark here. Just to switch back to the Game Pass real quick, because there's one question I wanted to ask. So with the Netflix style program that Xbox is running, and now introducing their own day one exclusives, what do you think people like GameStop are going to do? Because they already announced a while back that they're going to do like a yearly program to where you pay $60. I think it's for a year. Then you can rent as many games as you want to, and then at the end you get to keep one of those games.
Right.
Which I don't think it's actually started yet. I think it was supposed to start, and they were basically like, oh wait, maybe we're not ready yet. So probably their treasurer was like, we can't afford that. We are going to go out of business. So how do you think
just
something
kidding.
like Game Pass evolving the way that it did today is going to affect places like GameStop?
Well, so I feel like Game Pass or the thing at GameStop is really good because it's used games, right? It's not new; it's used games, right? For the GameStop.
I mean,
thing.
that's how they make their money, is used. They don't
Right.
make anything on
So
new.
because if I recall, you do it, and then at the end of 6 months, you get to keep the last game that you checked out or whatever, right?
Maybe that's what it is. 6 months.
Yeah, and maybe I'm wrong. I mean, but either way, you get to keep said game after so long, right?
Yeah.
So I think that'll be really good for people who don't have online services, people who still have PlayStation 3s even, Xboxes, stuff like Xbox 360s and services like that. It'll be great for those people. And working where we did, we know those people, and those clienteles are still there, 100%. That's still a market. But for us, and even for people who have online capabilities in Xbox One, the difference that GameStop has over Game Pass, the advantage that GameStop has is any used game they have. Game Pass is not that way. Game Pass these are the titles you have to choose from, and there is a chance that title will go away sometime.
Sure.
So I think GameStop's thing is still solid. I think it'll still work for them. I think Game Pass will put a small dent in what they're doing, if their thing even actually does anything. If GameStop's thing even actually works,
Sure.
this will affect it, but I think in a small way.
Okay. And I meant to ask that earlier, but then we got really excited about Pokemon, and I forgot all about
every
it.
time we talk about Pokemon on this, we just tangent
Right.
on Pokemon.
Anytime we talk about Switch in general, we just have our dream list comes up, I feel like, in every podcast.
It does.
Just about.
But we did get one other bit of news today, which is still fairly exciting for the first half of the year. God of War for PS4 got a release date finally.
Yeah.
420.
That's cool.
I didn't expect that to be so soon. So it's pretty exciting that we're kicking off the year with some AAA titles, but we also have something to look forward to. Another PlayStation exclusive, since they seem to do so well with that, just in the next couple of months. But Tim, what do you think about the God of War? Because you mentioned something right before we started recording.
So I want to play God of War. I never really got into the first three, and it wasn't because the game was bad, because I like those action games, right? I was more of an Xbox person, and I was more of a Devil May Cry person, so a lot of my time went, instead of to God of War, went to Devil May Cry. If I'm playing an action game, I'm playing Devil May Cry, right? So I never got into God of War, because anytime I tried to play God of War, all I thought about was Devil May Cry and the things that Devil May Cry did that this game doesn't do, and vice versa, right?
Right.
But I respect God of War, because I 100% guarantee it's a great game. I have no doubt in my mind that God of War is a lot of fun and a great game. And I want to try God of War 4. I'm honestly surprised it's coming out like as soon as it is. That kind of did throw me off that it's coming out in April. I want to try God of War 4. My question going to be is, do I need to play the others? Because I don't want to. I'll be dead honest with you. If someone said, yes, you need to play, I'm going to be like, well, I'm not going to play God of War 4. Just because I don't want to have to invest that much time in playing God of War 1, 2, and 3. I'm not going to play Ascension because... but, like, if I played them, I'd play 3. But I don't even necessarily want to do that. I just don't want to go back and play those games.
I feel you on that, man.
Sure. And I can't speak... Obviously, I haven't played the game, so I can't speak to it. But I feel like any time that there's there's probably been a 10-year gap between 3 and 4 at this point.
If it's even a continuation, though, right? Because isn't it a whole new thing? Like, I know it's still Kratos, but isn't this like a whole new mythology now? Like...
So they did... Because they showed off a new story trailer today, which announced the release date.
Okay.
And this is my take on it. So it sounds like, based on what the characters were saying in the trailer, this is a continuation. Okay. So Kratos has a new child with a new wife, and the wife is dead again. So like Kratos just seems to be cursed. He just can't be happy. But he has this son that's his partner throughout the game. So it sounds like he gets sent on this mission to this other, basically these other gods. So now he's hunting down these other gods. It looked like later on in the trailer, or in the story, I should say, his child gets sick. He maybe has to kill some gods to make him, better. Who knows what the story is going to be? I have no idea. But it is a continuation.
Okay. So then that brings up the question of how important is it that I mean, even if I could just read something on the other one so I know the story, I guess I'd be okay with that. It always bothers me when I play a game like that, especially if this is going to be like number 5 in the series, technically 4 in terms of the main story. Yeah. Like, how much am I going to be missing now because I didn't play those other games?
I don't think, and this is again just a guess because I can honestly, as much as I do, but I would think that they would do some sort of recap at the beginning.
That would be
with there being such a big gap between these, just in 3 and 4. Like, even for someone like myself that has played 1, 2, and 3, I don't remember a whole lot. I just remember he was pissed and he killed a lot of gods. Like, I
know that much at least.
Right, and so good. You're all caught up. Perfect.
I know diddly.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. He just killed his way through Mount Olympus and got new powers, and cool. He's all caught up. But Trey, I know you're not. If I remember right, you're not a huge God of War fan, or you at least never got around to playing him.
I think I touched, like, when they did that HD collection. I think I played a quarter of 1, and I was like, I'm gonna go back to Devil May Cry.
Sure.
I'm sorry. I think Devil May Cry is the better series, personally. Blood, guts, and gore is cool, but if that's all the game is, and you're just mowing people down, it's kind of meh. I mean, Devil May Cry isn't any better as far as storyline-wise. It's pretty convoluted, too, but I don't know. I just feel like the controls are a little bit tighter. It's not fully button mashing like how I feel like God of War could be. Or is. I don't know. But this is just my take on it. I just prefer Devil May Cry over not Gears of War, God of War.
Gears of War. That's a good game too.
Which, actually, speaking of, I was going to say they just announced that they're doing a HD collection.
Yeah.
Oh, for the whole Gears or Devil May Cry, yeah. Okay. I was like, for the whole Gears game again? Awesome.
Yeah. Tim's like pulling up Amazon right now. Like.
that it's what, 1, 2, and 3 that we're getting?
Yep.
Because 4's already done. 4 you can already get. Which, what did you think of 4? I know we're kind of getting off topic here for a second, but what did you think of 4?
I haven't beat it yet.
I really love the story in 4. Personal opinion. I love 4 a lot, but yeah, that's enough. I'll
get around to it. 3 is still my favorite, but
3 was phenomenal. Well, you didn't like 2, Trey? You didn't like Devil May Cry 2? Wasn't your favorite, Trey?
No. Tim, no, Devil May Cry 2 is terrible. We don't talk about that game.
I don't know what they were thinking.
Coolest suit. That's the coolest outfit for Dante, but
it is. I had a lot of fun with it, but by God, was it just atrocious in every aspect of the manner.
I only played the reboot that they came out with.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So
I'm
here's
so
the
So
thing:
much.
the reboot was fun. I enjoyed the reboot for what it was, and I still wish I had Devil May Cry 5. I can tell you that.
Right.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I'm hoping it's coming.
It needs to be, because when you play 4, you'll want it to.
It'll be cool
I like
because
that. I
since
like
I never played those, just kind of like how you guys haven't really played God of War 1, 2, and 3, this will give me a good chance to go back and play Devil May Cry 1, 2, and 3. That way I can get caught up with you guys, and
Yeah.
3
it'll be
is
fun.
by far probably the best of the series.
Oh,
like
easy.
hands down, I agree with that. My favorite personally is 4, but I would agree that 3 is the best in the series.
Nice. And Capcom's kind of they're just kind of on a roll this year.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
they're kicking things off with Monster Hunter and Street Fighter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Street Fighter is going to be ongoing for
kickoff.
the next 6 months.
Yeah.
as far
6
as new
months is
content?
season 3. We get a character just about every month,
Nice.
and then the next season's gonna roll out. It was every other month. That's how season 2 went, but I think they're gonna try to do it every month this
Nice.
time around, which I'm excited about.
Right.
Because it means
And
we'll
we
get
got
2 seasons in one.
Mega Man that got announced as well.
Yeah.
They're just like nonstop with these announcements. Now all we need is more info on Resident Evil 2.
Dude, oh my gosh, I cannot believe they did not do that on the 20th.
Or
Yeah.
Resident Evil
21st,
8.
21st.
You know.
Or Resident Evil
Right.
8. If I hope, look, if we're not gonna get, I hope we just get information at E3 for something about Resident Evil 2. Like,
I would. I would laugh so hard if they're like, now coming Resident Evil 3 HD remake.
oh my
just
god.
completely just
Right.
ignored 2 and then like laid it on the road. They're like, oh yeah, it's coming out. It's coming out.
It,
Don't
it
worry.
would be like, I'm okay with this. I'm more than happy to play Resident Evil 3 remake, but I
Yeah.
hate you all.
Yep.
Just like, my god, I just.
Or if
Capcom,
they
I
skip
love you.
both of those and they're like, HD remake of Raccoon City Chronicles.
Oh,
my
no.
God.
No.
They need to redo Outbreak Files is what they need to redo. I don't know
Yeah,
if you guys
that'd
ever
be
played
cool.
the Outbreak Files, but
Yeah.
it was ahead of its time because it was a PlayStation 2 online supported game, and it was really
Mhm.
good with the online support, right? And Trevor, I don't know if you ever even looked into them, but if they redid Outbreak now on the systems we have with the online capabilities, it'd be nuts. It'd be absolutely nuts.
It would be a good time.
It would be.
Well-
Oh, but dreams are meant to be crushed.
Right. That gets us pretty close to the hour mark, though, and I know Tim's got to go do big work things tomorrow, so he's got to rest up for our big gaming weekend as well,
Yes.
with his first anime convention and some late nights with Monster Hunter too.
Oh, I'm so stoked. We're gonna be all in the same house, not talking to each other because we're gonna be playing Monster.
Pretty much, yeah. Everyone's
Yeah.
just going to be on their own. Well, me and Trey might be able to play together. So, Tim, you're just
Well,
going to
Imagine
be
if I'm playing
you're going to be
Dragon Ball
hunting
now.
solo.
I will. I'll be a man. Do it by myself.
All right. Other than Casey.
Other than
Yeah,
Casey and the other
yeah.
people that we're going to be playing with. But that's not the point.
Right. That's not the point. But yeah, if you're listening to this in time, definitely check out our Doki Doki stream coming Thursday, as well as lots of Monster Hunter content from Tim in the next couple weeks, and lots of DBZ content from Trey as well. So we'll definitely be busy on Twitch for quite some time with these games. But until then, definitely hit subscribe. Leave a comment below if you have any input as far as what you think about Game Pass or these games coming out this weekend. And as always, we'll see you next time.
Later, guys.